Welcome back for part 8 of the GCSE Science Sprints. In this question, we're trying to calculate the number of moles of a substance. So my first step is to recognise that I'm going to need the formula mass is Mr. Mole. In other words, to work out the number of moles, I'm going to need both the mass, which is given in the question, and the relative formula mass, which I need to calculate for myself. So I'm going to write out this equation so that I have it there to use, and then I'm going to calculate this relative formula mass. To do this, I take the periodic table, which you will have for both of your GCSE chemistry exams, and I'm going to take the relative atomic mass of each element that's in this compound and add them up. It's important to note here that there are brackets around the O and H, and that means that the 2 applies to both of them. So I have 2 16s for the 2 oxygens and 2 1s for the 2 hydrogens, or you can do it as I've done here with a big bracket around the whole OH and just doubling that. So I get an answer of 74 grams per mole, and at this stage this will already be worth a mark just for working out the relative formula mass. What that number tells me is that if I had 1 mole of calcium hydroxide, it would weigh 74 grams. But unfortunately the mass in the question is not 74 grams, so I know I don't have 1 mole. I'm going to have not quite double that. So that's just worth me knowing as a common sense check before I get any further. So there are now 2 options that I can use. Either I can rearrange the equation, so I can take mass is Mr. Mole and turn that into mole is mass divided by mR. So I then take the mass from the question, which is 125.8, and divide it by 74, which I've just calculated, and I'll get an answer of 1.7 moles. So that is my final answer, and that works. But if you're not very comfortable rearranging equations, maybe if you're someone who in your physics exams tends to draw a lot of triangles, which I would really encourage you not to do, but it is a valid method, then instead of rearranging, you can also substitute. So basically we write out mass is Mr. Mole, and then we put in the numbers that we already know. So we're going to say that 125.8 is 74 times n, because n is the symbol for moles. If you want to write moles, that's fine. And then some people find this a bit more approachable. So if I'm looking at this, you can probably see that then in order to get n on its own, I'm going to need to divide by 74. So whatever I do to the right, I do to the left, and that will give me an answer of n being 1.7. So again, it's a slightly different method, but you get exactly the same answer. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're finding this series of videos useful in your GCSE Science revision. If you are finding them good to watch, then don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you back soon for some more GCSE Science revision.